For some upbeat banter, plenty of laughs, and
good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 181 of Buds and Blue Jays, your place for all things related to the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Jesse Burrell, and as always, by my co-host, Riley Connell. And Riley, man, I'm starting to run out of things to say about the Toronto Blue Jays here right now. We go to Detroit, a series on paper that seems to soften up a little bit, a series we really thought we could do well against, and ultimately didn't happen. We lose 3 out of 4 to the Detroit Tigers. Our record now stands at 23-29. We're 13 games back of the Yankees now. We're 5.5 games back of that last and final wildcard spot. Our playoff odds for the Toronto Blue Jays have dipped to 15%. And honestly, it feels worse than that, Riley. How are we feeling about this Toronto Blue Jays team right now? Because it cannot be good.
We're just at the point now where we just have to tip our caps, right? I guess.
If I have to hear John Schneider talk about tipping his cap one more time, I swear to God, it's almost become a joke on the internet now about John Schneider. Like, anytime anyone does something from another team, it's just like, yeah, tip our cap. They've gone through and they've done well.
We've had an abysmal season so far, to say the least. On paper, this team looked fantastic. And Jesse, I too am sick of the excuses why this team isn't producing. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Vladdy had a double today. Other than that, he's hitting worm killers into the ground. That's great. He doesn't have runners on base. There's no supporting cast right now around it. We gave up 14 14 runs today. And that's something in on its own. And then in another game in the series, we could barely hit. I mean, taking the first game 9-1 and then dropping 3 straight kind of blows, dude. It started off great. Yeah. And now all of a sudden we're looking like, really though, Jesse, you come in Thursday, we were feeling pretty good, you and I, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got walked over by the Detroit Tigers. And I'm not going to tip my cap to that team. Colt Keith got his first big league home run. Good for him. But other than that, Jesse, like we lost to a team that is very beatable. And we did not benefit from Comerica and whatever the defensive metrics. Like, you can't defend against the long ball, dude. Detroit handed it to us, and now we're 6 games below 500. That will simply not do. We're not a good ball team, Jesse, as of right now in the season, and our record.
It shows that, yeah. And the problem is too, like, it's hard to see this team getting better basically on merit too, because like we don't have a ton of good prospects. You know, it's tough for us to rely on just some of these guys getting better and improving right now. Like, it really does seem like it's going to be a tough get for the Toronto Blue Jays right now. Just a couple of housekeeping notes before we really dive into it right now. I am in the process of moving, so I am not at my usual setup. I am at my parents' house right now. Our internet might be a little touchy, hence why things might be a little different. So please bear with us with that. Also, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, stick around, and all that stuff. Please make sure you do all of that as well. And also, one more thing, Riley, you and I are going to be at an event this Thursday. Our friends over at the Walk-Off podcast are hosting like a comedy night with show Blue Jays Talk and the boys over at Blue Jays Today. And Riley, you and I are going to be there as well. So if you want to come out, hang out, and talk some Blue Jays baseball with us, with a bunch of other Blue Jays people in the content community, please come out this Thursday, 30th, at the comedy bar at the corner of Bloor Street West and Ossington Drive. Come on, hang out with us. It should be a lot of fun. We're thankful to be there, and you guys should come out and join us as well.
Yeah, thanks to the Walk-Off boys, because that's a very cool honor. And Jesse, I know we talked last night on the phone and a little bit today. We're super excited. This is a great opportunity for us. Very humbled, very appreciative of the chance to just hang out, talk some baseball, and our very struggling Blue Jays team right now, to put it very lightly.
It's going to be a fun conversation, I'll tell you that, including the conversation we are going to have here today. And let's move right into the heart of our episode. And let's go in with our normal thumbs up, thumbs down. And I think we have to start with the negatives. And there are a ton of negatives about this team right now. And I think I want to start with what we just saw here most recently in this game, in Game 3. And that is the bullpen. And specifically, look, it's hard to knock Jimmy Garcia for giving up 2 runs because he's been so nails all year. But of course, this is the time he finally gives up 2 runs. I'll talk a little bit about our closer, Jordan Romano, who didn't pitch in like 5 days. He didn't pitch at all in the White Sox series. We got him into an inning in Game 2 here. And in Game 3, he came in and he struggled, Riley. Like, if you just take a full set look at the season numbers for Jordan Romano, he's got an ERA over 6. His whip is 1.5. Like, that's simply not good enough for your closer. Gave up the home run today, too, to Matt Vierling, who had a 4-hit day, for goodness sake. Like, Jordan Romano, we've talked about it. He doesn't feel like he's the shutdown closer that we've had for years past. Like, even when he was converting those save opportunities, it felt a little shaky. And I'm worried that it's going to be tough for him to get it back and to stay in this momentum.
Unfortunately, aside from Garcia, I think we've seen a lot of our relief arms take a step back and at a very unopportune time, especially Jordan Romano being our closer. This is the guy that pitches in the highest leverage of situations, and he hasn't hacked it this year, to say the least. Perhaps this is. I know Garcia just had the appearance he did, also on 5 days rest. If you're a reliever, sure, but maybe time to switch things up. We've switched up the batting order, which was pretty heavy. Let's throw guys in different opportunities. I mean, Nate Pearson got his first big league save this year, for goodness sakes. Yep. Let's move some guys into different roles, Jesse, because we're this isn't, like you said, definition of insanity. Same thing over and over again. Terrible results. We need I don't know if it's going to come. We're going to outsource for a solution or find it in house. But the first thing we need to do is change up our pitching, our depth chart in the bullpen, and throw guys in different situations. I think that even if it doesn't work, hey, at least we tried something, because we can't keep going over and over and over again and losing 3 out of 4 to a team that we should have taken the series against.
Right, and that's been the story, at least over the last few months, about this Toronto Blue Jays team, is that we really need to start doing things differently. They finally moved George Springer out of the leadoff spot and trying to do some things with the offense there. Now I think it's time to maybe do some things in the bullpen. Look, I just want to point out that this series, Eric Swanson, Tim Meza, Genesis Cabrera, and Nate Pearson all had a scoreless appearance. So that was good. That was a positive. We haven't seen many scoreless appearances from them in this series. They didn't allow a run, but Jimmy Garcia gave up some runs. Zach Pop gave up a home run on a pitch that was way inside, too, by the way. He actually looked pretty good. He actually got some leverage, too, did Zach Pop. I think he was pitching in the 7th. He got 2 strikeouts and a line drive to get out of an inning there for Zach Pop. So he's probably moving up your depth chart. Trevor Richards walked 3 guys in the game today, then gave up a home run. So we thought he was slowly moving up our depth chart. Wasn't working. The good news is with the bullpen,